Hi, today I want to share a free lead generation strategy with you that is just staring you right in the face, and you're probably not even taking advantage of it. This free lead generation strategy has literally changed my life. It has increased my revenue and expanded my business, not just locally, but nationally. And when I start talking about it, you're going to want to slap yourself. So get ready, buckle up. Here we go. And you're going to know right off the bat what it is, but I have some strategies and some how-tos and some things further in the video, so continue watching to get those. So have you ever found a doctor, a lawyer, a landscaper, a brick mason of any kind in your local community, or even a service provider that you didn't care where they were as long as you could get the problem solved? I bet you did, and I bet you found them by asking for a recommendation in an online group, such as like you might be in online groups on Facebook, you might be on LinkedIn, other platforms, so you might be in a coaching community of some kind. But you and your network or groups are in these groups daily, right? And you're constantly seeing someone ask a question about, a problem they have, and if they don't get the answer to that problem, oftentimes someone will answer with the solution someone else, another service provider or somebody else provided. Hey, you should go, or a resource of that kind, right? But the problem is you are not asking for your network to promote you in these groups. You're not giving them the tools or the triggers to be listening for. This is a common thing in like BNI groups where they meet and they get together and they talk about their 1 minute pitch thing and all that, but you're not doing that online at scale. And today I want to talk to you about why you should be doing this. Okay. So, one of the first big things is that people are hip to how companies are rigging reviews. In my opinion, are great to have. You should still get reviews, and they do have a great impact on not just your SEO, but the credibility of your business. But there still is a kind of an undertone of, does this business truly have all 5-star reviews, that sort of thing? And the weight that a recommendation comes from a peer is a lot more dramatic than just reading a static review on Google or on the homepage of a website. And also, you know, all the different marketing tactics that you could be using right now, how you're advertising your company, all of that kind of stuff, you may be getting a plethora of leads, but they're low quality. They're not people who understand your value proposition. They may think you're too expensive. They're the tire kickers, the people who would complain the most. And basically, they're not high quality leads. And the other thing too is that you might not have any type of lead generation system right now. You may just be operating completely off referrals. And referrals are great, but they're one-to-one, right? You might not even have a system for referrals, which that's a whole other topic, right? And referrals may come in just a trickle every now and then because you're not actively going for referrals. So referrals are great. I'm not saying that referrals are bad or anything like that, but I'm going to talk to you about why recommendations in online groups can be way more powerful than a referral. And that is that one, they're free, right? Like you, everything, I guess nothing's free. You have to take time to ask for it, right? You don't ask, you don't get, right? But still, an online recommendation in an online group, if you get a lead from that, the cost per lead on that is next to zero, right? The other thing that's great about online leads coming from a group is that it's one to many, right? Like you've got, if let's say that you're a hairstylist or a landscaper or something like that, and someone goes into a group and recommends you to that group, there could be 1,000 moms in that group. There could be 5,000 moms in that group. I know for a fact that my wife is not just part of one mom's group. She's actually part of 4 or 5 moms groups, and probably a cumulative amount with, some overlap of other moms in those groups. Hell, there's probably 20,000 moms in just our area that my wife is constantly getting recommendations for. Like, When I needed to find an accountant or something like that, I asked my wife, hey, can you get in your groups and see if there's somebody local that can take care of our taxes and that sort of thing. The other thing that you might not be considering about online groups is that they're searchable, right? Someone will be like, I know this, we've done this. Like, we've thought to ourselves, didn't somebody mention a landscaper one time, in this group? You go to that group, you search the group, and you find an old conversation that means it's evergreen. You get a recommendation in an online group, it's evergreen. So, but are you taking advantage of all this, right? Again, if you don't ask, you don't get, right? If you're not, what you need to do is identify a group of existing clients you already have, and not even clients, but just other people in your network who would be willing to post on your behalf, to be listening for triggers on how to share you, right? A bonus tip for that too is to be a non-group, maybe form an alliance with some other perhaps non-competing businesses that serve the same type of client, or just a network in general of people that are need help all the time, that to be looking for each other on each other's behalf in groups. And so you basically, the first step you need to do is identify a group of people that you know of, clients. My clients have always been a great resource for not just referrals, but for recommendation business. And I'm in Benson, North Carolina, and I am in a small rural town, but I have a national company because mainly because of online recommendations and online groups. I've got clients in Michigan, Phoenix, Houston, California, about to sign one in Hawaii. And it's all because now I have the advantage of having an online service business, and perhaps you're brick and mortar and you can only serve a local market, but it's still just as powerful for you. I will say this is that one of the great things, let's say, for example, my business, 90% of the companies I help, it's all professional services businesses. I do help service businesses outside of that, but most of the business that I do is with law firms. And law firms, and this will be true in any industry, there are industry groups. There's coaches that serve industry groups that owners are a part of coaching communities in. Um, there are industry groups around perhaps the CRM softwares. Law firms have multiple CRM softwares. I've got law firms that use Locus, some use MyCase, some use Clio. And all of these different softwares have groups. They have either groups inside of the company's stuff or Facebook and that sort of thing. And I've had clients recommend my agency in these groups, and these leads have come in, and the great thing about it is they are high quality leads. Like, these people are ready to go near about because they had a peer that's been in their group for a long time recommend you. Now, I have seen it where I would get recommended. I've actually had clients say, hey, they feel good about it. So they will recommend me, and they'll take a screenshot of how they recommended me and send it to me. And they do that. And sometimes someone chime in with a competitor, so someone could make a choice. So that sometimes people will recommend other people too, which is awesome for those other companies as well. Like, this is business. This is good. Choice is great. I'm all about choice is power. So but you get your at bat in a group of people versus waiting for a referral that may never come. So that's another benefit to it. But one of the biggest tips you need to have here is that you don't let the people in your network just guess what to say about you. Don't let them guess about how to refer you. What link or URL would you prefer someone from a group to go to? What would you want to say that's benefit driven? Like, it's more benefits than features. What is your value proposition so that you can keep messaging on point? Do you know that if you have a conversation with people in your network and you ask them about the groups that they're in, are you going to ask them about, if you ask them about the groups they're in, you may want to consider giving them a message to say about you that is tailored for that audience, if that makes sense. So keep that in mind. But basically, what I want you to do now, okay, get off of this video. Make a list of contacts that you feel good about, that have, given you a 5-star review in the past if they're already a client, other people that you already network with, that sort of thing. And write a short benefits or whatever, like, this is what I would want you to share and this is your URL. Be willing to do it yourself, right? I'll give you an example of what drives me insane. And this is different but the same. Like, a lot of the times, and you may experience this too, you'll have someone email you wanting to put a link on your website to build their backlinks for SEO. Every time I've gotten one of those, I've been like, sure, let's do this. Here is a link I'd like for you to share on your website. And then it's crickets, right? You have to be willing to reciprocate. You have to be willing, if you're going to ask this to someone else, you have to be willing to also do this yourself. But the aggregate, the benefits of starting doing this for other people will come back to you, right? So definitely take advantage of this free lead generation strategy. It's leveraged, it's one to many. And let me know in the comments how it works out for you. If you have any questions, or if you have any other topics you'd like me to cover, please leave a comment. And thanks for watching my video. You can subscribe if you will. My name is Charlie Harper. I'm the founder and CEO of Whoosh Agency. And I hope this helps you out. I really do. Thanks.